Our story begins on the 2nd of September in 1812 in the remote hamlet of Keir Mill in Dumfries in Galloway, when Kirkpatrick Macmillan was born as the son of a blacksmith. He's the man generally credited as the inventor of the rear-wheel driven bicycle. It's worth noting at this point, however, that just about every aspect of the story of the invention of the bicycle is subject to considerable controversy. At various times, a Gavin DL and a Thomas McCall, for instance, were each considered to be the inventor, though that honour does truly belong to Macmillan. The story goes that when Macmillan was in his teens, he saw someone riding a velocipede, a bicycle that was propelled by the rider's feet, pushing backwards on the ground. He decided to build one for himself. A decade later, he had completed an improved version, the first rear-wheel driven bicycle, made of wood. It had iron-rimmed wooden wheels, a steering front wheel, and a rear wheel that was connected by a series of rods to pedals, which the rider pushed alternately forwards in a horizontal reciprocating movement. Before long, Macmillan was regularly to be seen riding the 15 miles between his home at Keir Mill and Dumfries. He never realised the huge potential that the bicycle promised, and as such never patented the design. The term bone shaker can often be justifiably linked to these early machines, and this is where our second character, Robert William Thomson, comes to our attention. Thomson was the original inventor of the pneumatic tyre. He was born in 1822 in Stonehaven, the 11th child of a local woolen mill owner. With an innovative mind and keen interest in science and engineering, his father supported him by providing a workshop in which, by the time he was 17 years old, he had rebuilt his mother's washing mangle so that the wet linen could be passed through the rollers in either direction. He also successfully designed and built a ribbon saw, and had completed the first working model of an elliptic rotary steam engine, which he perfected in later life. He served an engineering apprenticeship in Aberdeen and Dundee, and went to work for an Edinburgh firm of civil engineers, where he devised a new method of detonating explosive charges using electricity. Up till then, it was basically light the blue touch paper and run. This invention greatly reduced the loss of lives in mines throughout the world. Thomson was 23 years old when he patented his pneumatic tyre. His aerial wheels, as he called them, were demonstrated in London's Regent's Park in 1847 and were fitted to several horse-drawn carriages, greatly improving the comfort of travel and reducing noise. Robert's invention was some 50 years ahead of its time, as not only were there no motor cars, but bicycles were only just starting to appear on town and city streets. This lack of demand, together with the high production costs, reduced the pneumatic tyre to a mere curiosity. Undeterred, Robert went on to patent, amongst other things, the principle of the fountain pen. He amassed a large sum from his inventions and lived in a gracious townhouse in Murray Place in Edinburgh, where he died in 1873. Our third cycling icon is John Boyd Dunlop, who was born in 1840 into a farming family in Ayrshire. He qualified as a veterinary surgeon at Edinburgh Veterinary College when he was only 19, and worked as a vet in Edinburgh for nearly 10 years before moving to Belfast. He found the rough roads and the iron, wood or solid rubber wheels an uncomfortable way to travel on a bicycle. He successfully experimented with a design based on an inflated rubber tube fitted to his son's tricycle. He patented his design, only to discover that Robert Thomson had patented the idea in 1845. He went on to establish what would become the Dunlop Rubber Company, but had to fight and win a legal battle with Thomson. John Dunlop did not benefit much financially from the invention. He sold the patent and the company name early on. Dunlop retired to Dublin, living in some comfort in what today is the Belgian Embassy. He died there in 1921. When we look at the timescale of the development of the bicycle, it's interesting that it was not till the introduction of a viable pneumatic tyre, some 50 years after Kirkpatrick Macmillan invented the bicycle, that vehicular transport, as we know it, really took off. Realistically, this 50-year period is only a blink of an eye when we consider that the solid wooden wheel was invented 6,000 years ago, and the iron-rimmed, spoked wooden wheel 3,000 years ago. It was this same 3,000-year-old technology that was on the velocipede that so excited Kirkpatrick Macmillan. Not bad for a small country like Scotland to spawn three iconic inventors with such talent, working in the same field within a few decades of each other. But wait, there are another couple we've not mentioned, Thomas Telford and John Loudon McAdam. But that's another couple of stories.